Well guys, there you have it. Anthony Gordon is now officially a Newcastle United player. The £45 million move from Everton to Newcastle is now complete, and Newcastle have officially announced it on the website, on the Twitter, just a few moments ago. What a whirlwind weekend it has been with, just over 2 days left of the transfer window. Generally speaking, we've been a bit quiet this window leading up to Friday evening when it was understood that Newcastle and Everton had agreed on the £45 million move. He was in Newcastle yesterday morning getting his medical done. He was at St James's Park around lunchtime getting a few photos for the reveal. He was in the Metro Centre yesterday evening, getting some new trainers and a new pair of boots for the season. And Sunday evening, it's now been announced officially with the club. Very exciting, and it's got everybody asking, who's next? Can Newcastle get another signing through the door? And as I say, just over 2 days' time. Already big links to Harrison Ashby, the West Ham 21-year-old right back. It's actually understood that a offer of £3 million has been agreed between the two clubs, but then you've still got the James Maddison rumours as well. It's understood that bids have been going in for James Maddison at Leicester. Is there some movement there? And we're still being linked with some of these Chelsea players as well. Chelsea need to move players out. Newcastle still need, for me, a centre midfielder. And with 2 days to go, could the likes of a Gallagher on loan be the perfect answer to what we hope to see in these final 2 days? We'll come on to those players in a moment, but first I want to go a little bit through what Gordon had to say when he signed the deal. We actually saw pictures last night of him actually signing the contract, but as you'd expect, and I said this yesterday, that we've just spent 40 plus 5 million bonus on this player, the second most expensive player in the history of Newcastle United. In fairness, they did the photos and stuff yesterday, but they're going to want to make a big thing out of this. We've seen him in the cafeteria with the players. We've seen him meeting Dan Ashworth as well. So loads of great content coming out from the club. A great little kind of welcome video for him as well. And obviously they've asked him to say a few words. So Newcastle announced it as Newcastle United are delighted to announce the signing of Anthony Gordon for an undisclosed fee. It's understood to be 40 plus 5 million. The 21-year-old winger joins the Magpies from Everton and has penned a long-term deal at St James's Park. It's thought to be 4.5 years. Obviously, signing in January, normally you would kind of finish a contract in a summer window, which would be half a year plus 4, so 4.5 years, maybe even 5.5 years. You've got to think he's a 21-year-old lad. We've spent a lot of money on him. We're going to want to keep him at the club for a good amount of time, and obviously you hope that he will continue to play well and improve over a good period of time at the club. England under-21 international Gordon becomes United's first arrival of the January transfer window. Well, technically, Garang Kual was the first on the 1st of January, but we'll let them off. And Gordon had to say, since I heard of the interest, I was convinced Newcastle were for me. I think the fan base and the city really suits me as a person. I mean, as I said, he was in the Metro Centre getting photos with loads of fans yesterday. There's even a rumour that apparently he was stood waiting for his taxi home from, well, I say home, I think he's staying at the Hilton in Gateshead at the moment, or a hotel somewhere. And he was waiting for a taxi, couldn't get it. So somebody who was leaving work in the Metro Centre offered him a lift back, and apparently jumped in the car and went with them to get a lift home. If that's true or not, I don't know, but if it is, speaks volumes of the fans, welcoming him along and then giving him lifts home from the Metro Centre. But amazing. It really suits me. The way the team are playing under the gaffer at the minute really suits me. And the club just look like they're heading in the right direction. Well, obviously, had been at Everton, they aren't heading in the right direction at the moment, and you could see why you would probably want to make the jump. I feel like it's a really big step. People haven't seen what I'm capable of yet, and I really think that under the gaffer and the way the club is going, I can excel here. That's a big thing. We've seen Eddie Howe transform players, and we've gone through Anthony Gordon's list of attributes. Young player, works hard, will run himself into the ground, will press high up the pitch. You know, like Eddie Howe's definitely the right kind of manager to try and hopefully see him succeed at this club. And then we also got some words from Eddie Howe as well. Eddie Howe added that he is delighted to sign Anthony. He's a top talent. I'm really excited to work with him, to develop him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in a Newcastle shirt. And I think we'll probably all agree with Eddie Howe exactly the same, that we are also excited and looking forward to seeing what he can do as a Newcastle United player. And as I've said, great work from the media team. Obviously, it's what happens with, you know, media these days. It's kind of known it was coming for the last day, but they've obviously put a huge effort in here, just kind of scrolling through social media sites and just taking a look at what's going on, and it's great to see. And we've even got, you know, players welcoming him to the club. There was a lot of talk about, you know, the on-field scrap that he had with Shaw and Trippier, and then Trippier actually posted the image of him and Gordon arguing on his social media and said, "Welcome to the club." You know, so you can sometimes overthink these little things, and you've got to think at the end of the day, they're going to be on the same team, they're going to want to do well. You know, they're going to get over it pretty quickly. So yes, big up to Gordon through the door. Hopefully we can see him, you know, have a great career at Newcastle United. And as I've mentioned, people are now starting to turn to who could we see next. Now, I actually did a video earlier on this morning talking about Harrison Ashby. It's kind of been linked that Newcastle are obviously wanting a winger, maybe a right back, and a midfielder, centre midfielder, attacking midfielder, somebody to really try and help boost up that middle of the park. We've gone out, we've spent, you know, decent money, big money on Anthony Gordon coming through the window in that winger position. We're looking at that right back position. As I've mentioned, Harrison Ashby could, it's reported by Sky Sports that he's in fact on his way to Newcastle already. So it wouldn't surprise me, just like the Gordon one. Fee agreed in the evening. Harrison Ashby at the training ground tomorrow morning, ready for his contract signing tomorrow afternoon. And that is Monday. The window ends on Tuesday. We have a game on Tuesday against Southampton. Unless Dan Ashworth's in the back room trying to get some last minute deals over the line, we haven't got much time left. And that's where there is still attention being paid to those midfield positions. And I'm not going to lie, that the James Maddison one continues. It's understood that bids have gone in from Premier League sides to Leicester that they have rejected. And it goes back to what Dan Ashworth said in his interview. He believed that Newcastle would have the most success in this window at the end of the window, when teams turn around and go, okay, we'll take the deal. I mean, Harrison Ashby, his contract ends in the summer. You know, if West Ham weren't selling us to him in the next couple of days, he walks on a free in the summer. Could well walk from there to Newcastle in the summer for free. Obviously, James Maddison's got a little bit longer on his deal, but not that much longer. And the question is would it be worth it to to Leicester, to take the fee for Maddison now, to try and really get something for him? Or do they run the risk of leaving it to the summer? Maybe the bid won't be as big, but then do they want to let him go because they want to stay up? I'm hoping there's a final twist in that tale for James Maddison. My worry is, if Leicester are wanting 70 million, even if we get them down to 40, 45, if we've already spent that much on Gordon, are we really spending that much this window? Has the club got... Well, we've got the money. The owners definitely have the money. Have we got the FFP? Have we got the funds available within the club to go, right, let's spend another 40, 45 on him? But I still stand by the fact that, like an Isak at the end of last summer, if we get the player for the fee that we think's right, I can see us doing it. So I haven't lost faith, but I think it's looking tough to try and see a Maddison one go through the window now. What a lot of people are paying attention to instead is players that really would be available and could be let go. And the place you look is at Chelsea, who have just brought in millions of players and have got to let people go out the door. There's the thing about, well, would Chelsea want to give us players because they will be helping us potentially do better this season when they really probably wouldn't want to? But at the same time, they're going to have a pretty stand full of players who aren't even in the squad. They've got that many of them, and the attention goes back to the likes of, well, in fairness, I was going to say Gallagher. I know he's someone we were linked with in the summer. He's young, and at the end of the day, if we got him on a loan, we'll just boost that centre midfield. Obviously, the hope is we could potentially see Shelvey return before the end of the season. Is Elliot Anderson, really a centre mid, or is he more of a left, like a winger, or a more attacking player? Thing is, at the moment, Bruno, well, you'd imagine Joe Linton would be playing more in the middle three rather than the left if you're bringing in an Anthony Gordon to go and play out there. And we've got Maxi and we've got Isak. So I suppose Joe Linton can be more focused in the centre mid alongside Bruno, alongside Willock. Then you've got Longstaff. But I would still like to see somebody come in for that position. And if the likes of a Gallagher on loan is something that we can try and swing through in the last 24 hours, I think that would be a really good deal. And that's the thing. Throughout this window, I'd say, of anything, position-wise, centre midfielders have been the one we've been linked with the most. And now, as I said, just over 2 days to go, and we haven't got one. You've got to think that is still on the list, which is why I'm still keeping some faith in the James Maddison one. I know he's a slightly more attacking style player than maybe what we generally play with, but it's not to say that he can't integrate. And if not, where could we try and pick one up? So I do not think we're done. I think at the very least we'll see. Oh, I'm really hoping we can see the Harrison Ashby one go through without a hitch. It's heavily reported he's on his way. The deal's been agreed. Hopefully the contract comes very, very soon. Would you be happy with a Gordon and an Ashby? Or are you also thinking, I just feel like we've gone at this, and then don't get me wrong, we've gone out, we've spent money, we've brought in a few players, spot on. But centre midfield was the position we wanted to see strengthen this window. I'm hoping we still have time to get that done. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts on the Anthony Gordon one going through. Let me know your thoughts on the hope that Harrison Ashby could well be linking up to come in, learn behind Trippier in that right back position. And let me know your thoughts if there is still something to be done in that midfield, or will that be the end of our window? Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Loads of videos coming out right now. Lots to talk about with Newcastle. Transfer window, and that second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final coming on Tuesday, which I will be at, and hopefully we can raise the roof just like we did against Leicester and try and take us to Wembley. So yeah, loads going on with Newcastle. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.